Welcome back. As promised, Dean Owen with DeanOwenCPA is here with me. And Dean, there's one thing we know about today already in the election. We're still going to have to pay those taxes, right? No matter who wins?
No matter who wins. We may be higher under one president than another, but there's still going to be some taxes that have to be paid. Okay.
Tell me a little bit, going back years, I know you've been doing this for a long time. Tell me what your research shows on whether, whichever side wins. Right. Can you tell what's going to take place?
Well, the really big thing we're hearing a lot from clients of late is they're worried about the markets. And the thing is, the markets don't watch elections. Elections don't move markets. They may for a very, very short season, meaning a few weeks. But if we go back to modern history, to President Ronald Reagan, there were really good markets when he was president. They weren't so good when Bush 1 was president. They were really good under Clinton, and you have to remember Clinton tried to get through Hillary Carey and did lots of things that we're seen as negative for the economy. They were not, but the economy did well under Clinton, and so did the markets. Then Bush 2, the markets did not do well under his election, under his 2 tiers, and they did not do well under Obama's first 4 years, but they did his second 4 years. Then they did well under Trump, they've done well under Biden, and actually the difference between return on the S&P between Biden and Trump presidency is only 1/10 of a point. So markets are not driven by elections. I know people are concerned about that. I know the politicians, all of them, on all sides, talk about markets are going to crash if the other person's elected and blah, blah, blah. Nobody's going to come in and just terribly jack up an economy, jack up markets and do all kinds of things, just destroy value that makes sure they're going to be a one-term president. So I think there's a lot of hype, a lot of fear-mongering that goes on in elections. Every election I've known about since I was a child has been called the most important election of our lifetime, and we will get past this, we will get through this. We all have our preferences on who we want, but the president really doesn't have as much authority and ability to control the economy as they would like to take credit for.
Okay, so to combat all of that, I've heard you talk about this before, so we need a tax plan, not just be in compliance, but tax plan. So a few quick pointers on that. Yeah,
we met with someone late yesterday afternoon. She and her husband came in. She's going to retire. There's about $1.3 million in retirement assets, and with some strategic planning, we can keep that money taxed at 12% as opposed to 22%. In her situation, they should be paying the tax, not the children. And if you think over the lifetime of being able to keep that in the 12% or in the lower tax bracket, the next tax bracket after 12 is 22. That's 10%. So if we can keep that money taxed at the lowest tax brackets and save 10% of the entire account balance, not only what's there now, but whatever grows through their lifetime as retirees, that's a big number. So it merits planning. If the tax guy is not your money guy, you're probably going to pay a lot more taxes.
All right, so we need to come plan with you.
Absolutely.
And not be compliant. Yep. All right, thank you for joining us today, Dean. Absolutely. If you would like to revisit this segment of Home Experts, log on to WPSDlocal6.com/homeexperts. Up next, Robert Alexander is going to join us, and he's going to talk about the auctions that he's got coming up. That's next after the break on WPSD Local 6 Midday.